are back again, the fifth time. Episode 5. How is everybody going?
Great.
Luke, chipping in nice and early. How you doing, buddy?
Hello. Good to see everyone. Good to see you guys. I'm ready for another pod.
Beautiful. Sean?
Good to see everyone.
Just in general.
Yes.
Just good to see.
Vision's important.
Yeah. How you doing, Brett?
Yeah, good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. That's how I'm feeling
Fired
today.
up. T, how are you feeling? Statman.
I'm good.
Yeah, okay. Well, nice. You're short and sharp. I like it.
Sweet.
Hit all the bases there. We're going to go straight to Sean. What have you got?
We have, ladies and gentlemen, some breaking news in the Flat Earther Society.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
Flat Earthers plan incredible trip to Antarctica to reach the end of the world.
You asshole.
So this is taken from news.com.au, which they took from The Sun, a newspaper in the UK.
Ironic.
Yeah. A group of flat Earth conspiracy theorists is heading to the end of the world in a bizarre trip to prove the planet isn't a sphere. The flat Earthers plan to travel to Antarctica by boat to find the frozen barrier they believe marks the edge of our world. The supposed ice wall is said to be several hundred meters thick, towers 50 meters high, and surrounds the entire planet. Next year's incredible trip, details of which are being kept under wraps, is being organised by the Flat Earth International Conference. So, I'm not going to read the whole article. It's just going about some YouTube guy wanting to join the trip.
So that was that ice wall we were talking about, right? We covered that topic.
Yeah, like essentially the wall from Game of Thrones that it goes around.
Yeah, that's
the
literally
entire
all I
world.
thought of when you said that.
Yeah, so basically, it goes on to say that you can't fall off the flat Earth because it's inside a dome like a snow globe. The sun, moon, and stars are all inside. It's very high, but all contained inside, so there's no way to actually fall off the Earth.
So what is on the other side of the wall?
I guess the edge of this snow globe,
the
kind of glass,
Just like a really good
a
view.
mirror.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't even know. So, and then it just goes on to say how navigational equipment in boats disproves the Earth being flat.
You know what I'm looking forward to? If they actually manage to continue going and going and going and discovering that there isn't a wall, then I want to see how they manage to manipulate that into being like, actually there is a flat Earth, but I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. It'll never end. It'll keep going.
No. Once you're embedded in your beliefs, you're not moving.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you have anything to say on that, Brett?
I just can't fathom the stupidity. Like, it's just really hard.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely
Struggling.
speechless. But, what I find ironic is that, news.com posted that. They're the least newsworthy.
Just for the clicks.
Yeah.
No, I know. Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just definitely it's satirical. They're mocking, well, not satirical, they're mocking the flat earthers. Yeah.
Well, that stole my time, that little mini topic there. Speaking of stealing,
Oh, fuck
I'm talking about identity theft.
I'll pay that.
Today. And, nothing scares me more than the idea of someone anywhere in the world being able to get into your personal information and imitate you. That just freaks me out beyond extremes.
Really?
And
More than clowns?
Public speaking.
more than clowns.
Really? Identity theft?
Yeah, man. I don't know why. There's just something freaky. Well, a clown has a face. You can be scared by that face.
Man, it's terrifying.
However, an identity thief is faceless.
I have your face.
Oh.
Damn straight. But it's more like them cutting my face off, and we won't get into that.
I've seen that movie.
Kind of like in, Silence of the
Yeah.
Lambs?
With
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, face off.
Yeah, somebody make that noise.
Yeah, you got it.
Nailed it. Yeah.
And I would know how scary it can feel because I myself am a victim of identity theft.
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
You, Luke? Is this the real Luke?
I don't know. Far out. This is shit.
Getting deep.
Yeah. Basically, what happened was a couple years ago, I went to the gym, and I never take my wallet to the gym. Never. But on this occasion, I had to go to the post office just before, and I thought, you know what, just knock it out, just go to the post office, then go to the gym and go home. Just leave your wallet in the little pigeonholes at the gym. There's cameras on the pigeonhole, and I'm very I'm always watching my stuff because I've had stuff get stolen before and it doesn't feel nice. So I'm probably watching it over it more than someone that hasn't had stuff stolen before because I know what that feels like as well. Go to the gym, put my wallet in the pigeonhole, go onto the treadmill for a 5-minute warm-up, go back to the pigeonhole because I think I had to put my towel back there or my water or something, and my wallet's gone in the space of 5 minutes. The treadmills don't face the pigeonhole, so my back was turned, couldn't see who did it. There was a lot of people in the gym, so wasn't able to tell who did it. Immediately, I cancelled all my credit cards. I was actually really pissed off because I was really looking forward to going to the gym.
Did you tell the people that work there?
Yes,
And what-
and immediately called the gym staff. Told them what happened. They looked on the cameras. Like at that point, I just left because I had to sort out some more stuff and file a police report as well. And they told me that there was a guy in a red t-shirt there who snuck in because it's a 24-hour gym and didn't scan a card, and they've never seen him before. He just snuck into the gym.
Cheeky bugger.
Yeah.
God damn.
And it pissed me off beyond ends. Like, I was so mad. And I even filed a police report, and they communicated with the gym. The gym gave them the footage, but they couldn't determine who the guy was because maybe it was
He's just a rando. Up the
Yeah.
street.
Or the fact that it was like the video they gave them wasn't as good of quality and didn't exactly see them take it, which is a bit crappy considering there's a camera on the pigeonholes for that exact reason and they can't see someone take it.
Getting HD cameras is not expensive.
Yeah, I mean, just look at these ones.
I mean,
Hey.
Basically 4K, and yet these guys can't.
Basically.
Can't invest like what? Maybe couple of $100 in
Yeah.
decent surveillance. Like, come on.
It's a gym and you want to protect your customers' belongings, especially in a scenario like that where someone can so easily just take it like that and nothing can happen.
Did you go back to that gym, by the way?
I did not. As soon as that happened, I cancelled it. They were pissed off that I was cancelling it because it can happen to anyone. But no, fuck them. Fuck you.
You know what? Like, I think the craziest thing as well is that you can't even feel safe leaving your wallet in a public. Like, I know obviously it's a public space, yeah, but like,
It's kind of private public as well.
yeah, and you shouldn't have to worry about people taking your things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That shits me.
So there was like $30 in my wallet as well and a bunch of cards and stuff that got stolen. So I had to replace all that. So that was an inconvenience. But that was only the start of it. About 2 weeks or a month later, I got a bill from Optus. And I'm not actually with Optus with my phone. And the bill was for $1,000. And here I am just like, what? I've never signed up to Optus. So what this person has done is they've taken my ID and they've gone, I think, either to in-store to Optus and bought a phone and a plan.
They must
And-
look somewhat like you then.
Yeah, or they've done it online somehow. I think some companies allow you to do it online like that. So I had to do a statutory declaration saying, this wasn't me that did it. I think a couple of weeks later, Vodafone sent me a bill,
Wow.
same exact situation. $1,000 racked up on a phone bill. And,
How if you'd cancelled everything? How? I don't understand.
well, because they
It's
must have
attached to the name on the license, not actual like, a credit card.
They must have put a card down. Or
Yeah.
I don't think you need to put a card
No,
down because
no.
you can just pay it in increments, right?
Yeah. Just pay it online or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
They don't need a credit card. Yeah.
Probably use the $30 like look out in the wallet as cash.
That's it, right? And I felt really unsafe. Violated, yeah, because that's my identity, and it sucks having and I'm so good at like having a good credit. Like I don't even have a credit card, and to get a bill in my name with that amount of money charged to it, I would never even conceive doing that, and it's just really, I don't know, I just felt weird about it, like someone's using my name to do this dodgy behavior with.
Yeah, man. What's he doing? Sending money to Nigerian princes?
Yeah.
What did you have to do to like get out? So what happened next with the
Yes.
Vodafone Optus?
So I do a statutory declaration basically to say that this wasn't me that did it. And they were just like, all right, cool. Well, that's by law. He said he didn't do it. So, yeah, they just cancelled it all. And I had to provide the police report.
That's actually such a best case scenario. Like in terms of how it worked out.
Yeah.
Like, there could have been so much more.
Oh, they're
to it.
insured out their asses. They would have to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but like,
Yeah.
they could easily have fought you on it, and you kind of like
1v1,
fucked.
yeah.
Yeah, no boys, car park, yeah. Optus rep is just like, meet me outside.
Like Susan, like 48 years old,
He's like, you want to go, Luke?
Accounts manager. Come on, let's do it. Come on, buddy.
break down. But
Yeah.
that's so much mucking around. Surely, like,
Yeah,
it's
it
not
is.
a 5-minute thing, isn't it? You have to go to police stations and stuff. Or
Absolutely, yeah. And it just, you feel crap doing it because it's like, I didn't even do anything wrong. All I did was get my wallet stolen and I have to do all this extra shit, Anyways, identity theft is more prevalent than it ever has been ever in history. Now with being able to purchase stuff online, people can easily take your identity. And even today, like I had an email sent to my iCloud account and I don't even use my iCloud account posing as Apple, saying your Apple has been.
I got one of those
You got one of
yesterday.
those?
Yeah.
I clicked the link, but then I was like, hang on a sec. Fucking,
And
like,
it looks legit.
It looks legit. And then I immediately closed it and look at the email. I was like, that's not an Apple email. So yeah. But like, because it comes to you all looking all nice and stuff, you're just inclined to click it. It's just, you don't think. You just be like, oh, okay, I have to do this now. And so with my case of my wallet getting stolen and having to go through all that, that was annoying. And I thought what happened to me was bad, but compared my experience to some other people, it's actually not that bad, because I was looking at some other cases of identity theft recently, and some people have had their absolute lives ruined. Like, it's crazy. There's this thing called phone porting. Have you guys heard of phone porting?
No.
As far as like just cloning phones, or
No. So what it is basically, say someone can get a hold of your account number either by stealing your mail or something like that. And then they need that, and they need your date of birth, so they could go on your Facebook and find out your date of birth, right? They get those two things, and then they can easily just online or maybe calling can just be like to your phone provider, I want to port my phone to a different carrier. So from there, what they can do is change your phone completely. So once they do that, you're like completely locked out of your SIM card because someone's changed your phone number to a different carrier. And then from there, they can access all your accounts because they now have like SMS access. They can change your account passwords by getting like your two-factor
That's clever,
authentication.
actually.
Yeah.
When you say to a different carrier, do you mean like they call up Optus and say, I want to change to Telstra?
Yeah. And just use the same number.
I've never felt more unsafe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. And people have had their absolute lives ruined over this. Like, they've had money stolen from them, and especially if like the identity thieves use it on a long weekend where they don't have access.
Because obviously the bank's shut for a couple of days.
Yeah, exactly. So for a whole long weekend, they can just use their information to buy stuff and wreak havoc. And they can even access things that, like their government payouts or something like that, like absolute go nuts on it. And that to me just feels so like, once again, just that weird feeling of someone that you don't even know what they look like or anything, just absolutely taking control of your life through your identity.
That's super creepy because it can happen to anyone. All they need to do is like just take a letter from your mailbox to get like your account number and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a bit of a lighthearted story. Didn't happen to me, happened to my partner.
Yeah.
And I remember once it was like 7 a.m. we got a call from her bank. And it was just like, hey, just calling to check if it was you who made a transaction to, it was something like Stellar Ice Creations at 4:00 this morning. And my partner's like, no, I was asleep. Why is that? He goes, oh, well, we're just checking because apparently you just bought like a $2,500 ice statue of a swan. And
Of all things.
Of all things, right? And my
Yeah.
partner's just like, yeah, that wasn't me.
Oh my
Just
God.
Actually, come to think of it, yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
I woke up, at 4 a.m. and ordered that.
Yeah, right.
But imagine if it was her and she had to explain that to the bank as well.
And to me.
Yeah, or like, saying to the guy in the bank, you guys are doing a great job, keep it up, but that was me.
Actually, I just had a bit of a splurge.
I've wanted it for a while now.
Sleepwalking.
Yeah, like obviously she was covered by like the
Yeah.
bank's insurance.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was easy. It's not like she had even had any of her stuff stolen. It just, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that actually, sorry. A very similar story happened to me. And you've literally just triggered the memory. So last year when I was going on holiday, I had a call at, no joke, 5:30 in the morning. I had to be up at 6 to get to the airport. And they called me at 5:30 in the morning. They said, did you pay to stay at this hotel and this hotel, and the cost of this was $300 and the cost of that was $400 or whatever.
And this is your bank calling you?
This is my bank calling me, asking me if I paid for these hotels. And I was like, yeah, I'm going on holiday literally today. No issue with that. But because it was 5:30 and they woke me up with the phone call, like I wasn't thinking properly. And so I said, yeah, it was me, no issue. I looked into it and it actually wasn't the hotels I booked. It was some random dude in France or something booked these hotels.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I had to call the bank back and I couldn't get through them and I was on hold and I had to go to the airport and I was like, what is going on? And eventually I got through it and managed to get in and say, look, I had this call, those hotels weren't actually me. They were calling from over east, so 2 hours ahead. It was like 7:30 there, so like that's normal. But Yeah, and eventually it got sorted out. But it was just crazy that someone from France or
Always the
wherever it was
French.
could get the details. Like,
Yeah, we.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. They shut down that card or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how it could have
Which
happened.
extremely inconvenient as you're just about to go on holiday as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'd suck. And just the fact that I've been booking hotels because I'm going to America halfway through this year. And, and I'm giving out my credit card details a lot. And it just makes you think, like, how easily can someone that's just working at these hotels or, these transport companies can just get your details and just use that,
Imagine if you were to hijack a hotel's number, like the phone number, right? So let's say I was calling you, Luke, and you're the hotel, but instead Brady's hijacked the number. So I'm calling Brady and he's asking for your details to put down a credit card.
Yeah.
Brady's just like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
I'm now stealing your life.
I'm also French in this situation.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm terrible at accents, so I probably started at one and went to another.
Especially when I was giving my credit card over the phone for one of the hotels, and he was repeating all the numbers out loud, and I'm just like,
Some guy's sitting there with a notepad,
it's crazy.
7.
Did you say 6?
Repeat that. 4 6s. Okay. Yep. Do you hear that back there, sir?
The fifth digit is definitely a 6.
And the expiry date.
Yeah, and there's that, and then there's also those calls sometimes you get where they sort of get you to do yes and no answers. Like they ask you questions that try and force you to say yes or no. They record those answers and then they use those for your bank or something similar to that, just so they can use that voice of yours and
as your authentication.
Yeah, and if you're just like, where's all this money going? I was like, well, you did that. Here's the phone transaction of you saying yes and no, and it's your voice, and it's just that is creepy, man.
That is creepy.
When you look at buying things online, make sure you look at the top left. It'll have a
the
lock,
lock, yeah.
and that means it's an SSL certificate.
Yeah.
So that's usually can be trusted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Always.
keep your eye for the lock.
At my old house, we used to always get those calls from telemarketers, and it was just like, "Hi, we're just calling about those Microsoft products that you have in your house. There's Microsoft computers," and I'd just be like, "Sorry, we actually don't have any computers in the house."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they're trying to scam you to give you over your password
and they're just like, "Oh," and I'd just be like, "How do you know if we have Microsoft computers in the house?" And they're just like, "Oh shit," and then you just hit this beep,
That assumption. Yeah. Worst I've got, it's semi-related. When I was catching a train from the Czech Republic to Poland, I think a few of you might know this story. It was an overnight train ride, and apparently on the border there's a city on one side, there's a city on the other side, and because if you're a local, you're not really having to use your passport or anything like that. You can just jump on, but So apparently, I wasn't told this, but it's a really, really popular trip for people to jump on right before the border, steal people's stuff, jump on at the next city, and then walk back across the border.
Wow.
And because now you're in another country, the jurisdiction doesn't apply to the other country. And
True.
if you want to get your stuff back, you go to the police, and they're like, "It didn't happen in our country, so we can't do anything about it."
Right.
So I was on this train. And the most terrifying thing that I always look back at was I was in a cabin on my own, and I was just sleeping on my bag, and there was a bag next to me, which was one stolen. And so someone had crept in the middle of the night while I was on my own, and had just walked up next to me and taken this bag from right next to my head, and then left, closed the door, and all of this whilst I was just sleeping there. That always freaks me out because I'm like, they could have done anything to me. Could have just started beating the shit out of me. Could have done anything. Just stab me in the throat. Who knows? It gets
how good would have waking up have been and catching them and just been like, "Man, you are dead."
not if they then react and stab the shit out of me.
Oh no! You are filled with pure rage when
Yeah.
someone's trying to steal your
Mate, it's
laptop.
Poland,
Yeah, there's a country full of John Wicks. So.
Yeah. You want some? Yeah.
But yeah, when they start to steal the stuff that's over, you getting stabbed, you take them.
Go for it.
Call Susan from Optus
Oh
to
my
throw
God.
hands.
Yeah, far out.
You should throw it down. But the worst thing that happened was my passport was in there.
Yeah.
And so I had to go to Poland. If there's Polish people watching, I apologize. No, it's fine. It's a good country. Love you. Yeah, but it was difficult, really difficult, because I went to Warsaw and I had to get an emergency passport. It cost me $500 and it was valid for 2 weeks or something. It was enough just to get you home. I had months left on my trip. I was going to other countries. that I then had to cancel because I just had to go home.
Yeah, it sucks, man.
It was terrible. But the funny thing was, when I got back to Australia, I got a new computer. I synced it, my Google Chrome or whatever, my account, and they had bookmarked things. And I had seen the things that they had bookmarked.
Right.
And it was like real estate purchases and things that they had bookmarked. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, I was just going through it. And I'm like, I could, do something about this, but what's going to happen, really?
Imagine calling the house that they had like bought, right? And just being like, hello, this is the man whose backpack you stole.
They'd just be like,
But, I mean, they could have sold that laptop as well.
exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then you've just ruined some poor man's day. Like,
Spent $4,000 on a phone call to Poland, yeah.
So finally, if you guys had your phone ported, how do you think you would react to that?
Poorly.
All for it. Big
But
fan.
would you be fearful? if
Oh
that
man,
happened?
yeah, that would be pretty scary. I'd have no idea what I'd do. Like, you have to be put in that situation. That's just like, you'd feel helpless. Like, yeah,
Yeah, it's
What do you do?
Because you don't know who it is, and
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it really scary. Is that you can't stop them because it's not a physical sort of thing. It's
yeah, I'd just be
completely
angry.
online.
I think I'd be angry at first and then kind of like freaked out because it's like, well, shit, that's my life.
and like how much more can they get from you? You don't know. Brady?
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah. Yes, it would.
Yeah, that's how I feel about that. First thing you do is you call your whatever phone provider you're with. But again, how much can they do really?
Yeah.
Cancel it. Go
Yeah,
from there.
Susan's only got so much power. So
Oh my god, her reach is far, but not that far.
She's a Wonder Woman, Susan. I love her.
busy lady.
she's not snoozing on the job. Hey.
Well, from identity terrorism to
That get out.
God damn.
That's up there with the worst.
that was a terrorist attack on my ears. That was terrible.
yeah, it's like a 9/11 like in your ears.
That was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually better than his segue. Yeah.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Well, there's been an atrocity in New Zealand, and you guys have just made fun of it.
Well, no,
We made fun of you. Let's make that clear.
Hope you feel terrible that you guys joked about terrorism.
Well, we joked about you, mate. You're the joke.
Well, I feel like you made fun of terrorism. Anyway,
Thank you. You're entitled to your own opinions.
okay. Well, that's we're getting sidetracked here. There was a really big atrocity in New Zealand, as I'm sure anyone who's not living under a rock is aware of. An Australian man living in New Zealand went into a mosque and he basically wrote a terrorist manifesto, went into a mosque and shot and killed over 50 Muslim people that were praying there. So this has been an important event socially because it's possibly the first time a white person has been deemed a terrorist. So you guys are thinking around. Can you think of any other cases?
Unabomber.
Yeah, Unabomber in the 90s. Ted Kaczynski. Sent bombs in the mail to technology and aircraft-related companies and industries.
Oh, wow.
What defines a terrorist? Could you say Hitler was a terrorist?
He was, yeah. That's it. That's the point that I eventually want to bring up. What is a terrorist? So,
What's the actual dictionary definition of terrorist? That's really broad, but I've never looked it up.
without looking up, we do have someone who could
Stat
look it
man.
up. My guess for the time being would be someone or something that causes terror amongst society.
Yeah.
It's not related to a
Well,
race.
their goal is to create chaos and unrest. Or something,
Yeah. Do we have a definition or?
A person who uses unlawful violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims.
Okay,
So it's against civilians and it's in the name of...
It's politically driven.
Political
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah. So what we have had previously is a sort of media-driven definition of what a terrorist is. So previously, if the person was of, let's say, Islamic descent, they would be deemed as a terrorist. But previously, a white person or Caucasian person doing such a grievous act would just be seen as someone who was, brought up poorly, or
A madman or
a madman. Yeah, they've gone insane.
troubled childhood.
Yeah, rogue sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So an example of this is from the Mirror newspaper in the UK. The headline was, this is an incident a few years ago. So a Muslim person went into a nightclub and shot and killed a bunch of people, I believe in
This is in Miami or something.
Oh, Miami it might have been, yeah. So the headline was, ISIS maniac kills 50 in gay club.
Oh yeah, that was Miami or Orlando or something like that.
Yeah, I think that rings a
Yeah.
bell. Yeah, and then the one in New Zealand was this was again from the Mirror, same newspaper. Angelic boy who grew into an evil far right mass killer. So you can see the media agenda there, not labeling the white Caucasian person.
It's
as,
disgusting.
Anders Breivik, there's one, the Norwegian guy.
yeah.
Yeah, who killed all those kids.
Yes. So
Norway. Yeah.
well, yeah. There's more and more examples these days.
It's just that the white people aren't reported as much or in the same light.
Exactly, and yeah, so it's like largely a media-driven thing. But this, like in this instance, I can't remember the guy's name now.
From
Something
last
Karen.
week?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Don't.
Yeah, don't mention
Yeah.
it. Who gives
That's
a fuck?
that's been a whole big
Well,
thing lately to
yeah.
not be bringing up people's names and not give them the platform that they want. That's a really good thing.
Well, he has been widely labelled as a terrorist.
Good.
Like he is in that category now. He's in that category, and his acts have led to change amongst the laws of New Zealand.
Immediately as well.
Immediate change.
Amazing.
So semi-automatic rifles are now illegal, and all weapons are much harder to
Yeah, that
to
happened
get.
today, I think.
Yeah.
Either today or
got
last
passed
night.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
you're
There's,
right.
there's sorry to cut you off, but there's a secondary thing that they're bringing in because a law in New Zealand means if you have you have to have a license to have a gun, but the gun doesn't need to have its individual license. So they've never had in New Zealand any idea how many weapons an individual has. They just have a license and they can have the amount of weapons. So you can stockpile
Oh my god,
all these weapons and they go, here's a license. You might have one gun, you might have 50.
that is so poorly
So
thought out.
they're changing that also.
But
Yeah.
nothing like that has ever really happened in New Zealand. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no-
Well, I mean, I guess you kind of think back to what was it?
Port Arthur.
Port Arthur.
Yep.
Yeah, like that was I think around the 30 people mark.
I'm not sure the number. Yeah.
But I remember the guy went and obviously shot people, and that immediately changed gun laws in Australia since then.
Yeah, exactly. So they've acted, and then you've got America. This is happening on a weekly basis, and it's just like, I'm not going to get into gun laws. That's a whole different
Amendments
topic.
and all that
Yeah.
shit.
That's a whole different. Like we could talk about gun laws on its own topic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll save that for now. But what we're seeing is attacks by white supremacists or white people against other races increasing. Like this is a pretty worrying thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 50 people died, and I guess like on that note, condolences to all of
Yeah.
those people who died last week and their families that were affected, and everyone in New Zealand.
Man, not funny, but the weird thing about that is that hit me much harder than any other terrorist attack ever has. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it was in New Zealand. I don't know if it's because my boss is Muslim, and so like I've also always sort of known Muslim people. It just really hit me for some reason.
I think it seemed to rock everyone, and not because the guy was Australian. I think we look at New Zealand as
like siblings,
Little brother.
almost.
yeah, that's probably a good way to put it. And like, yeah, I was definitely moved by it. I was probably too young to really process like 9/11 as something like as an event that rocked
I
us.
think we all were.
Yeah, because I can't remember what year was that.
01.
01.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was 8. So, but no, I remember last Saturday morning. So like 12, 18 hours after it happened, I watched Waleed from The Project. He had like one of the most moving like speeches I saw. Obviously, he is Muslim, and he said he went to the mosque on Friday morning the same as he would most Fridays. And yeah, it was just, I don't know, that like hit me quite hard watching that and sort of processing all of that.
Because they were there, and all they were doing was just doing what they do.
They're
every
just
day.
coming together.
Yeah.
Did you hear that the guy who was the first person to be shot, apparently what he said to the guy who walked up with a gun, he didn't see the gun, and he just said to him like, "Oh, welcome, brother, come in." I'm like, that kind of shit just it hits you so hard.
Yeah.
And it frustrates me like that, the white man the light isn't shed on him in the same way that like other people, like in terms of like the newspaper articles and the way it's reported. They talk about like troubled childhood. Who gives a fuck? Like if you shoot 50 people, if you shoot one person, you should be painted in the same light.
Just be removed from society.
Yeah, absolutely. You have no right.
Yeah.
I think this is probably setting a bit of a precedent now that people who do this on regardless of your background, are going to be treated in the same light. Because I think, obviously, I mean, this isn't something that's happened a lot, But now I think people are really like sort of over it, over making excuses. And, you know, a terrorist is a terrorist. I don't give a shit what color they are. A terrorist is a terrorist. I think people are getting sick of it.
Yeah, I think people are over gun violence in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On your point, though, you know, talking about white people that have been labelled as terrorists, I remember when there was the shooting in LA, the guy that shot a whole bunch of people at a country music festival off the balcony.
Oh, in Vegas?
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, not LA,
that was,
Vegas.
that was like a year ago, year and a half,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, last 2 years, was that?
Yeah. And I remember being on Reddit and it's shut down now, but there's that subreddit called The Donald. I'm not subscribed to it.
Oh, yeah.
Please don't think I'm subscribed to it because it's a terrible subreddit.
Big Donald fan over here.
Yeah, right. But there was people like posting screenshots of the threads on Reddit and people commenting before and after people knew what the race of the gunman was, right? Wow. And before they knew the race, because the gunman was white, before they knew the race, they were just like saying really harsh things about Islam and all that and about terrorists and stuff. And then as soon as they found out that the gunman was white, immediately they were just like, this doesn't add up.
You must have had a reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cue the
Government-
backflip in people.
Government
Right.
cover up.
Yeah, right.
man,
I
there
have
was-
I have a person at my work. I'm not going to mention any names.
Is it you?
No. Who currently denies the shooting in New Zealand.
Oh,
He says it's fake, it's a cover up.
It's just like-
he says if you watch the live leak video, you can see the bullets, the shells from the shotgun falling on the ground. It was live streamed. It makes no sense. And it's just
These are like the Sandy
horrible
Hook
that he
deniers.
would even suggest that.
Yeah, that's just
You know the
ridiculous.
attack that happened in that school, Sandy Hook, whatever, in America?
Oh, yeah, in the last few years as well.
Yeah. And all these kids died. And then there was all these conspiracies about how it was like a government drill and all the... I'm like...
Man, it makes me so fucking angry. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't comprehend people who are just so cold.
People who aren't just willing to accept what people are saying and what has been reported on, like, it's
Could be a coping mechanism for all we know.
sure, but like,
But still.
it's really disappointing that people don't have sympathy in those situations and would rather just start pointing out reasons as to why it didn't happen
Yeah.
or something. It's just, come on, man. Like,
And I think it's scary that that some people can't seem to process the fundamental act of just be nice to each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's not hard. You know, like,
You don't have to be nice. Just don't
Like-
shoot them.
but you know what? Like, this is like obviously like the smallest fraction of doing. Like yesterday, like I was walking out of a shop and I was walking out and a woman was had to walk in. All I did was hold the door open for her. It took nothing. And this is not me highlighting like a good act. And she was so surprised. She was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I was just like, "That's a common courtesy. Like that shouldn't need outlandish like
Yeah.
thank you."
But then on the flip side, you could get people who are offended by that.
No, but like that's what I'm saying is that like we live in like such a contrasting world that like it shouldn't be so black and white in terms of like what's good and what's bad or how people's perception of these things is taken. It's just
I think people are skeptical now.
like just be nice to each other. It's not that hard.
yeah, well said.
Yeah, a bad act is a bad act, and something like this is deemed as terrorism. As you guys were mentioning, like the contrast between just someone's skin tone is like it shouldn't be the defining factor as to what the act is classified as. And so a good example of this was shown in Family Guy, and I just want to bring this up to show a lighter edge. And credit should go to Seth MacFarlane because he's a pretty intelligent guy. And there was a picture of Peter Griffin dressed up in a sort of Middle Eastern getup, and someone was holding like a palette of like skin tones against him.
Yeah.
And the first 3 shades of white had mentally ill written next to him, and then the shades of brown and black had terrorist written next to him. And it's just like, well, they're bringing light onto the matter, but it's actually a very important point because it's like,
It's exactly what the newspaper is reporting. Like
Exactly.
like in terms of like the contrast.
exactly. And so they're bringing satire out of that, making fun of it just to prove a point that, hey, it doesn't matter what they do. It's, why is it mentally ill if they're a white person and terrorism if they're, of darker skin? So
And people always bring it back to, or the people who cause these atrocities, bring it back to what I classify as personal opinions and beliefs that they then try and, throw out over an entire community. So you have, it could be Muslim people, it could be Christian people. They have these really extreme beliefs. That doesn't mean that Islam or Christianity is an extreme religion itself. It means that individual is an extreme person, and they are using that as a reason to inflict damage.
Yeah, it's a platform for them to like project.
They're using these things as like a scapegoat and a reason, which is fucking pathetic. I'm going to speak about my boss, who is Muslim. We got these things in the mail, Scientology things. Now that's one of the religions, well, not one of, probably the only religion I'm happy to make fun of because it's not a religion in my opinion. It's not. If you watch enough Scientology things, it's not a religion. Anyway, we got these things in the mail that were saying, come down to there's apparently a Scientology wing down the road from us.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
And it was like, come down, grab onto the sticks and find out how messed up you are. And so I was speaking to my boss about that, and like he was laughing and stuff, but he didn't say anything back. And then he sent me a message afterwards, and he's like, you're totally allowed to say what you feel and things like that, but he's like, I'm not allowed to. Like, as far as my religion goes, I'm not allowed to make fun or demean other people's religions. And I was like, I had no idea. And I'm like, things like that. Every time I learn little things about other people's religions, as far as I'm concerned, the core element to almost every religion is kindness and is like, be nice to people. And if they have different beliefs, so be it. If they want to learn from you, go for it. If not, then let them be. But like you have these people who go, they don't think the way I think, and I know I have such strong belief in what I believe that they must be wrong. And so if they're not going to listen to me, then
they're against me. If they're not with me, they're against me.
And it's such a tribalist way to think, and it's just there's no place for that in modern society, in my opinion. And
it's such a tunnel vision to look at things, though. Like I like to think of myself as fairly open-minded, and that is just such a like shutting off of half of what you could potentially learn.
Yeah.
Big question: would the world be better without religion?
That's too vague of a question.
It's a big can of worms that we should open another time, I reckon.
Yeah.
Write that down as a topic because that could be a whole other topic.
That could be a whole hour, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then some.
Another thing to mention is the majority of terrorist attacks that happen from Muslims are on other Muslims in Middle Eastern countries.
Yes, exactly.
And people don't realize that. They just think, it's only highlighted when it happens in the Western world. There are so many more attacks that go completely unnoticed in the Middle East constantly.
Yeah, that's right. And I just want to end on one final thing. I think we should all give a bit of credit to the New Zealand government for how they've reacted to this because it's just been like an absolute model to how we should behave in these moments.
The Prime Minister especially.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Is it just Jacinda?
I would. I mean, this is poor use of the words, but I would kill to have like a Prime Minister like her and leading our country.
Well, if she was if we were a footy team and she was our coach, you'd go out there heart on your sleeve and you'd want to win for her.
The things that she did, that's a leader. That's someone who actually has the country's and its people's best interest at heart, and they're not thinking about their PR angles and things. They're thinking about what is the best way that I can handle this for my people.
Yeah. Well said.
Anyway, that's a great segue into cultural superstitions because I'm not going to top your terrible one. All right, so I've got a lot of cultural superstitions. The first one I'm actually just going to throw straight to Sean.
Oh, yeah.
What have you got going on in your house, Mr. Italian man?
Well, okay, so every Italian has... Every Italian has a cordonor, a chili sort of thing. It's a horn. It's not a chili. It looks like a chili.
What was the word?
Cordonor.
Okay.
C-O-R-N-O. It means horn.
Oh, okay, cool.
Off the Australians' corno.
Every Italian has one of them somewhere hidden in their house to fend away the curses and the evil spirits. And I don't know if your Italian family has one that you know of, Luke. You might not know of
Well, it's hidden, so...
Yeah, exactly. I didn't even know my own mum had one.
Mum, where's the corno?
Literally, I didn't know, Mum. I actually had to ask my mum that exact question.
Really?
Because she was like, Sean, you're not spending a night in this house until you have one of these.
Wow.
And I was like, but you don't have one of yours? And she was like, yeah, we do. I was like, where the hell is it? And she explained to me where it was. I was like, I have never seen it. It's when you walk into my parents' house, there's a set of 4 stairs immediately, in front of you. And it's just on a ledge next to the stairs
I know where
behind
it
a candle.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is this how Jewish people have the mezuzah or whatever on the door when you walk in?
Can you pronounce that again?
You were really hoping we'd just brush over that.
Yeah, I think it's called mezuzah or something. So I don't know how. I think it's like 4 Z's in there.
Yeah, you said it so quickly, like, oh, they didn't hear that. Yeah.
just B. Anyway,
Wait, Brady, do you have Italian background at all?
I do, but I don't have one.
Yeah, right. So not every
you think
Italian.
you don't have one.
Yeah, true. I'm going to call my mom, like, Mom, where's the
Where's the
mezuzah?
corno?
Yeah, where's the corno? Apparently I'm Jewish as well. Actually, my girlfriend is Jewish.
Well,
so
how Italian is your mum? Like,
she looks the part.
Does she talk?
She does look the part.
Does she talk with her hands?
Only when she's angry.
Oh, Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Italian.
That's more like this, though. But yeah.
my
So
language.
again, Italian. Yeah.
Talking my language. All right, so I'm going to jump into a few different cultural superstitions here. All right, the first one that I think, they're not all funny, but some of them are just interesting. In Germany, you can't actually cheers with water. So it's actually wishing death upon the other person.
Wow.
And it stems from the Greek mythology that the dead people drink from the river Lethe in the underworld. So the Greeks would toast the dead with glasses of water to symbolize their voyage to the underworld.
Right.
It's actually rude to toast in Australia with water as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
I had no. Why?
Because we're
Probably-
pissheads. We love alcohol here. So no, I think I don't know.
They're
I think,
offended you don't have a beer. Is that-
yeah, like pretty much. No, I think it's just considered rude to toast with like a non-alcoholic or we'll say a soft drink or just
Yeah.
with water. Yeah, I
Couple
don't
of
know.
lemonades. Don't cheers that.
Yeah.
Don't.
It's got bubbles. It's got bubbles.
Is
It's
that,
safe.
is that a shandy? Okay, you're fine then. Shandy, for those listening, is beer and lemonade. All right, so next we have, they're really good. Japan. So this is funny because it goes from Japan to Africa. Japan, don't sleep with your head facing north because that's the direction that the deceased are laid to rest. In Africa, don't sleep with your head to the west for the exact same reason.
There is a similar Italian conspiracy.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Featuring a corner.
Yeah.
No.
Don't sleep with your head towards a corner.
So you can't have your bed and where you're sleeping directly in front of your bedroom door because it's like you're sleeping in the coffin position.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I originally moved in here, I had my bed like in the middle of the room. So there was like, the bed was there, the door was here, and so I'd be sleeping like with my feet at the door, and it's like you can't. My mum was like, "You're moving your bed."
I kind of imagine you've set up your house. Your mum's come and done her last
mate.
little Italian check. Just go, no corner. Bed's the wrong way.
The Wong Feng Shui, Feng Shui was just like out of whack.
I honestly think something like that could just be general feng shui. It sounds like it could be.
Just social conspiracy, mate.
Yeah.
You should be writing that on your paper.
My bed isn't facing the door like that, so I'm good. No corner though.
Yeah.
In Syria, this is a funny one. They ban yo-yos.
Oh, what?
In
I love a good yo-yo. What the
Yeah.
hell, Syria?
Not in Syria, you know.
Do they have a reason why?
Yeah. Over fears that it would cause drought.
Wow.
Obviously,
look,
that's self-explanatory.
I
don't
mean,
need to explain
yeah,
it.
I can see why that would happen.
Yeah, don't need it.
Cheers to that.
What?
You don't. I'm just going to skim over that. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Sorry,
Like the worst things going on right now. Like,
And Brady, what was the name of that Jewish thingy before?
It's mezuzah.
I guess if like a whole bunch of yo-yos were just like hitting water.
No, don't even try.
It's not
Luke. Like,
literal. It's
the
always
splashing.
It's
the collective splashing.
Yeah. Just imagine someone with like 4
like
yo-yos.
40 million yo-yos at once.
man.
all these Italians talking with their hands yo-yoing.
And actually, it came down. It's always symbolism. It's due to the rain coming from above, like the drops. But when you do that with a yo-yo, it's like the rain going down. But when you pull it up, it's almost seen as like a prank, thus causing drought.
Okay, that's
It's very symbolic.
yeah.
And apparently, in 1933, the police went through the streets and just confiscated yo-yos they saw.
Man.
How does that gain popularity? Like how one person's come up with it, obviously, and then
Caught on.
everyone's believed it. Like,
Man, you ever heard of flat earthers, man? Like,
yeah, true, touche.
What's wrong with flat Earth?
Are you going to
Moving on.
Antarctica next? Look,
Let's just like a hard pass. All right, so next we have Korea. This is probably my favorite one because I feel like it's applicable to me. If you eat asymmetrical food or unshapely food, you get an ugly baby.
that's just called OCD. Like,
Ugly baby. And the picture was of a strawberry that was like misshapen. And I just think like of a baby coming out with a head the exact same shape.
Oh my God.
So weird.
that's just straight up OCD. I reckon.
Yeah.
that's really particular.
It's an odd one, right?
Imagine having to like really not only watch your diet because you're pregnant, but also have to watch
shape.
exactly like the shape of what you're eating. It's
Oh,
crazy.
that banana doesn't look perfectly straight to me.
Yeah, it will be a hard
Ugly baby.
Straight banana.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get straight bananas.
You don't have a
You can get straight bananas.
I thought it just like,
Alright.
dangled a little bit to the left.
curved bananas.
No, they hang straight
Surely.
down.
The Carnarvon bananas.
Some of them have a lilt, but that's fine.
Bananas? Yeah.
You got the thick ones and they go straight. So next we have spilling salt is bad luck. Now this is a WOG one for you.
Yeah.
For those listening in the UK, we need to explain WOG. I think we already have. Means Italian in this country. It means different things in different countries.
Oh, yeah. True that.
Spilling salt is bad luck, so people throw it over their shoulder. So in Roman times, salt was actually a currency that Romans were paid in because that's how scarce it was. So it was kind of like if you spilt salt, you were just throwing money away. So it was believed through Christian connections that the good spirits were over your right shoulder and the devil was on your left. So you throw the salt over your left shoulder in Satan's face. So that's where it comes from.
Yeah, wow.
And that one's something that, like, not even Italians, like, I feel like a lot of people abide by that one.
Yeah.
Spill the salt, go to the shoulder.
Yeah.
Next time I do a tequila shot.
Just bang, straight over.
Don't you hate it when you like going to put salt on a chicken or something when you're cooking dinner? And
I don't know if it applies to chicken salt, but
anyway, not chicken salt, regular salt. And
Salt
you go
on a chicken.
And you go to pour some salt on it, and then the lid falls off, and then all the salt just falls out onto the chicken.
Yeah.
can't say I've actually been in that position.
It's not a good situation to be in.
Salty chicken.
Yeah, consider your dinner ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you
I
get
was
back to it.
putting
Yeah.
some protein powder on some muesli, and same thing. I was like trying to just like tap it out, and I
it
just
does.
like tapped too hard,
Just
and
clunk.
and I ate it. It was terrible.
You get the same thing with a pre-workout, and that is a long night.
Tomato sauce, the tomato sauce bottle, when there's the dried up tomato sauce on the end, you're just squeezing it, and then it goes like flying out all over your shirt.
Just imagine that in your nice white house, just
Oh, mate.
everywhere.
Whenever I wore my white jeans, it's like a 100% chance
like a
of
murder
that
scene.
happening. Like,
And all the people know this is a white as fuck house. You can see these walls behind us. Look at that.
is that white or is it a different shade of white?
I'd say that's
Off-white.
bone.
It's mentally ill white.
Wow, that's is that inpatient white?
That's why we get the best episodes here. Is we're pushed to the limit. What's wrong with you, Stat Man? Why are you falling out of your chair?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
So bring it back to Family Guy.
Do we have any weird traditions in Australia? Was there any
I didn't
superstitions?
find any in Australia, but like because we're a country that is not that old, we kind of tend to bring traditions from other countries. Generally, whatever your background or your grandparents or parents are. But there's none that are specifically
Well,
Australian.
the one you got from the USA right there is pretty Australian.
Yeah, but that's okay. So that's pagans. This is something that almost everybody, as far as I know, in the Western world does. Knocking on wood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
I always thought it was knocking, but knocking,
Touch
touching.
wood. Touch wood, yeah.
They're apparently the same thing. Because in the pagan religion, it's a religion, right? Paganism.
No, paganism is like what the Catholics thought every other religion was.
So they're just like non-believers,
Yeah.
basically.
No, it was like the original Roman gods or the German gods or the Norse gods. They're all pagans. Like,
okay,
yeah.
cool. So trees were considered sacred, so worshippers would lay their hands on the nearest wood to ask the spirits inside for a favor.
That's
So-
like, it sounds like something the Druids of the UK would do.
Yeah, so just knocked over some salt and you just
Yeah.
can I get a hand over here, like picking up that chicken salt? So next we've got Thailand. Now this is a good one. It's considered good luck to wear a palad kick. Now I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and I guarantee I did. It's an honorable surrogate penis. I pronounced that better. It brings good fortune while gambling, and this is why I wear one.
Can you imagine walking into the casino with just like a spare dick strapped to you?
You don't?
That's the norm,
This
apparently.
is the craziest one of them all. I'm
don't?
sorry, but
I always have a dick around my neck. Anyway, it brings you good fortune while gambling and makes you irresistible to the ladies. Because nothing screams,
Touch me.
touch me like a dick around the neck.
Either that or Lynx Africa.
Well, I mean, they're basically the same thing. This is dick necklace in a can. Anyway,
Gross.
Lynx Africa, if you're watching, we got you. Next, we have India. So this is a good one. Newlywed couples must compete to be the first to find a ring in a large bowl of milk.
See, I like that. That
Milk.
sounds like.
Oh, wait till you hear why.
Oh, okay. I don't like it
The
anymore.
prize is that the winner gets to wear the pants in the relationship.
Oh, there's
Not-
a lot at stake.
Not physically. I mean, maybe. It depends what you're into. But yeah, for the whole relationship, basically, you get the say. You're the big boy or girl. Yeah, depends who gets the ring.
I mean, that's kind of wholesome.
That's
I guess.
insane.
Yeah.
It's very Lord of the Rings. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Did you have any more cultural superstitions there?
Got a couple.
Oh,
Because I wanted to share my own
You go for it.
cultural
Yeah, go.
superstition. If I'm making a bowl of cereal in the morning and I pour the milk in and some of the milk spills out, I'm going to have a bad day.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't cry over spilled milk, Luke.
Sure.
Should have just knocked on some wood. Put your
Shit.
dick necklace on, and you're good.
But it's just the worst way to start the day because it's just like, yeah, cool. All right, really looking forward to breakfast. And you go to pour the milk in and it just spills out and you just have more mess to clean.
Man, I do that literally every morning. My every day is dog shit for me.
Yeah, jeez. I don't know. Do you guys have any little knacks of your own?
Oh, I've got so many. I just can't think of any right now.
I used to be fairly superstitious when I played footy. Would like wear same undies to the game
Wow.
every week.
A lot of footy, like or athletes.
Yeah.
You see like a lot of players don't run through like the banner. They run around.
Oh, okay.
You'll see, even if it's like their milestone game, they'll run around the banner. That's for them. I used to pack my bag the exact same way every game. I don't know, little things.
One of mine is sport related. I'm very superstitious when it comes to sport, and it's weird things. It's like I can't wear the shirt of the team I support while I'm watching them play. Like even though it's just like it's probably like 50-50 when I do. It's just like I feel like it brings bad luck. Or wear like the underwear.
50-50?
No, I'm just saying it probably isn't like 100% of the time they lose when I
Okay.
wear the shirt. It's just like I don't know. I just feel like it brings me bad luck or something. Or it's just like if I'm leaning forward and they've scored a goal. And
You've got to stay leaning forward.
Yeah, and then I've like started leaning backwards and the momentum swung. And so I better lean forwards again.
It's my fault.
Actually, yeah, that was like when we watched the Eagles grand final last year and your girlfriend started sitting next to you, but our friend Dan was sitting next to you. Dan. And then like once she moved next to you, I was like, no, Laura, you got to sit back over there. Like you can't.
Yeah, you're messing up the juju.
Yeah, you're messing up the juju. Like, and the Eagles were on a roll and then they ended up winning. So I think that was a good move on our part. Kept that juju going.
Get away from me.
I don't remember the seating plan at all of that day.
Yeah.
I was very drunk.
Yeah.
Great day.
It was a good day. One I had, not really the same thing at all, but if I'm watching a movie and I'm eating a packet of chips, I can't start eating anything or chocolate. I can't eat anything until the first person in the movie has spoken, because then the movie has started, in my opinion.
What if you're watching Wall-E?
It's going to be a long...
It's going to be a very snackless movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are humans in it.
Yeah,
Just
Charlie Chaplin movie
Well, no,
or
not
something.
necessarily person, but just the first thing that speaks. Someone has to speak.
Okay.
And then I can eat, because as far as I'm concerned, then the movie has started and then I can enjoy it to the max.
You just hear Wally. And just,
I'm just like,
Hour and 20 minutes into the movie.
been waiting for those M&Ms this whole time. I got a couple more. So the Philippines. This is actually not a bad one. Don't go straight home after a funeral, otherwise a bad spirit might follow you. So what mourners do is they usually go to a shop or a restaurant after like a funeral, and then they go home. So basically handballing the bad
To the
spirits
shops.
into the shops.
It's kind of smart, really.
Yeah. Playing the odds
Smart
there.
footy there, yeah.
In Turkey, an itchy right hand means you'll come into money, but an itchy left hand means you lose money. I just constantly got scratching my right hand.
Oh. Yeah.
Jeez.
I was actually scratching my left hand when you said that, so that's not a good sign.
Just give
The old
like-
identity theft, eh?
Yeah, I was gonna say, give it to me. I'll hold on to it for you.
Yeah.
Canada, pregnant women who are craving fish but don't eat it are gonna have a baby with a fish head. Now, I don't understand what that even means.
Has that been proven?
I mean, it's a whole country of fish-headed children, apparently.
Yeah.
So yes, proven.
Yeah,
And isn't fish like not meant to be very good for pregnant women?
yeah. I think because of the mercury levels.
Yeah. Ugh. That's
So,
not a very
don't-
nice superstition to have in Canada.
And I'd say one of the last ones I have. It's probably a good one. Walking under a ladder. Now, why do you guys
Yeah.
think that is a superstition?
I don't know, but I know it is one. Same with seeing a black cat. Like, yeah, these popular ones. Not
And
sure.
there's like the walking over a drain. That's
Yep.
that's unlucky.
I never walk
considered
over
unlucky.
drains.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just feel uneasy about them.
Man, I do it with confidence.
You walk on drains.
straight
I,
over it.
I love walking under ladders. Actually, I froth it because it is such
Froth it.
well, yeah, because it's such a superstition. But I just do it anyway, just because
Yeah.
of the barrenness of
How's
the
the
superstition.
thrill? Oh,
Yeah,
the
but-
adrenaline rush. Oh.
if we're I mean it is, but if we're talking about stuff like that, there was probably when I was younger and still a bit now, but not so much, where I always have to walk not on the cracks of the pavement.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
yeah.
Got
I
to step
have
over the crack.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Break your back.
If
Yep.
I can do like if it's
That's
like
what it is. Step on a crack, break your back.
Yeah. And if I can step like if there's a fair amount between the next crack, I have to make sure that I step an even amount of steps, like 4 steps.
Yeah, like or
Yeah.
3
and then
steps,
over
yeah.
the crack, 4 steps, and then over the crack. And
I
it's
still do that
just-
today.
Oh my god, your life
Same as
sounds
like
so difficult.
You know when you go like you cross the road on one of those like where the white paint is like the
Zebra crossing.
zebra crossing. Yeah, thank you. We always taught as kids that if you stepped on the black bit, that's like you get eaten by sharks.
Yeah, it's lava.
Yeah, it's lava. Yeah.
So does anyone know why you don't walk under a ladder?
No.
So apparently this dates back to medieval times where ladders signify the gallows and where people were to be hanged. So if you walk underneath one, someone could get hanged
Whoa.
straight on top of you. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's heavy.
It's just a safety issue, really.
It's OH&S.
Yeah.
Thank you, Statman.
Coming in with the goods.
Oh, hey, Jess from like way back.
So I think that's the end of that. We got cool or not cool.
We got cool or not cool.
Not cool, not cool.
That was the best cool or not cool intro we've had ever. All right. So one of them, Brett, with his sneaky little eyes.
All
managed
right,
to
that's
see.
my bad. I didn't know you were. I just thought you were writing. Well, maybe a shopping list. I don't know.
Well,
This is on his shopping list.
if this is on my shopping list,
It's gonna
be a
be.
good weekend. So
It's gonna be a hell of a month. Yeah.
Stocked up last
all
week.
right. So number one, cool or not cool, cornrows. Don't look at the rest of them.
I'm sorry. Cool.
Cool.
Yes.
Cornrows on black people. Cool. Cornrows on white people.
Jesus.
Not cool. Culturally
Oh.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that cultural inappropriateness
What if
was
you've just
not
been
cool.
to Bali or something?
Still culturally inappropriate because it's
Okay.
what people in Indonesia get,
Okay.
I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think they do.
Anyway,
Regardless, I'd just rather not offend anyone.
But it's culturally inappropriate to a country that we don't have necessarily a lot of African American people.
Sean.
Nothing you say right now will offend anyone more than anything I've said tonight. So you're in the clear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
You're welcome. I have covered that one for you.
yeah. So yeah, cornrows, white people, black people, whatever.
I'm gonna stick to like race neutral here.
Okay.
Not cool.
Not cool. Okay.
Yeah, there's a bit out of fashion now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying I'm thinking just Snoop Dogg with cornrows, and you're saying he's not cool.
Yeah, he isn't.
Wow. All right.
All right,
so-
Snoop Dogg with cornrows, very cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Snoop Dogg with cornrows the coolest.
Yeah, probably.
That wasn't the criteria. It was just cornrows.
No,
Well, it is
that's
now.
fine. We're moving on
Right.
now. Yeah.
The second one, just natural progression from Snoop Dogg, DMT.
Cool. Never done it, but seems pretty cool. heard it's been really amazing.
You've been watching too much Joe Rogan, haven't you?
No?
Okay.
Why? Who did DMT
All
on
he
Joe
does is
Rogan?
talk about DMT. That guy.
Right on.
Loves it.
Good stuff, Joe.
Sean.
I'm gonna say, what even is DMT?
Dimethyltryptamine.
That one. It's actually,
I think.
it's a molecule that we actually produce as humans.
Yeah, no, I know about
Don't
this.
you
but I can't
produce it when
remember
you die? Is that
It's
that's
supposed
like
to be
Not
similar.
confirmed.
Yeah.
okay? That's like that's about all I know about DMT.
DMT is the it's like the sort of the molecule that activates was it like ecstasy or something?
Nah.
No, it's just its own thing.
Isn't it in something? I can't remember.
So yeah, that's a whole different thing. It's like serotonin receptors and it's
DMT is speculated to be the thing that's released upon death, and it just overwhelms you, and it's supposed to be this calming sort of thing.
But is it cool or not cool?
Okay, well I was just trying to figure out what it is. I'm gonna say not cool. Anything that messes with serotonin levels is not cool.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go not cool. It just seems kind of scary.
I'm gonna say cool.
Why?
Okay, yep.
That's it.
Why are you saying cool? Or is that just it?
No, it's just cool.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Next we have bottle flipping. You gave me that one, Brett. Cool or not cool?
Not cool.
Go fuck yourself,
Over.
Brett.
All right, if I nailed that one before the show.
Did, but
did,
it's
yeah.
for high school kids. It's not in any way cool.
I don't even think. I think it's primary school.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
It's cool.
Wow.
Especially the one that Brett did.
that was the coolest one, to be fair.
That's why it's cool. That's
Yeah,
what made it cool.
It's pretty cool. I wish I hadn't drunk any of my water because I had the perfect level, and I would definitely nail one in the middle of this desk if I could.
No, you wouldn't because the cameras would fall off.
Yeah, and it'd be worth it. It'd be a great way to end the episode.
It's the equivalent of kids doing fucking Fortnite dances on the
Yeah.
streets and things to me.
Yeah.
But
Brings me back to New Year's.
but the one that Brett landed was 10 out of 10. Next we have, in line with cornrows, corn on the cob.
Not cool, actually. Yeah.
Just like the thought process. I had some.
No, all right. I have a real bad thing with getting things caught in between my teeth, and corn on the cob is one of them. Whenever I eat corn on the cob, it always gets stuck in
Serial
between
offender.
my teeth, and I go nuts. So yeah, if I have corn on the cob, I just like cut it off with a knife.
It still gets in there though.
Yeah, but not so much because you're not using
It's still, some might argue that's still corn on the cob. You just took it off the cob.
no, it's
Corn
corn off the cob.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, listen to
It
the
was
question.
cooked on the cob. It was cooked. The method of cooking was corn on the cob.
It's the method of
and the
eating.
method of eating was removing it from the cob. That being said, it's cool because corn is like an elite vegetable. Is it a vegetable? Yeah, it
Wow,
is.
it doesn't even know. Okay.
It's just water and sugar.
It's elite either way.
Yeah, next.
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool?
No, corn sucks.
Corn can get fucked. I like the taste of corn, but it's not that nutritionally good.
Always turns up in your
cares?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's jeez.
Hey, you reckon? Like, you could eat corn 3 months ago. You know, you take your shit tomorrow. There's corn.
When did I eat that? Last one. This is a long one. Okay, having a holiday where you just stay home and do nothing.
Stay home.
Do you mean like stay in the hotel?
No, like you
Like
take a
taking
week off
time
and
off.
all you do is stay home and just chill.
Not cool. You do that on the weekend when
But-
you don't have to use your
But
time
for
off.
like a week, 2 weeks.
No, not cool. Just
I like the aggressive stance.
well,
though.
yeah, just go somewhere. Like it's not that hard to like pack your bags and go somewhere and
What if you
relax
can't
there.
afford it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's plenty of
Mr. Moneybags
All
over
right,
here.
there's plenty of free things to do.
Yeah.
That
Like DMT, cornrows.
I said
bottle
DMT is
flipping.
not free,
I
mate.
said free.
Bottle flipping.
I
is
just
free.
think if you're taking time off, you should use that time and like not just stay at home. That's my personal opinion.
So Luke says not cool.
I'm
Sean.
going to say cool, and I think you're taking the stay-at-home part literally. I think what Brady's saying is you just don't go on holiday; you stay in the city you're in.
Yeah,
And there's nothing wrong with that. I did that last year. Basically, I was forced to take leave. It was too late. I couldn't go anywhere, and it was great. It was actually exactly what I needed. I needed to catch up on sleep. I got a tattoo. I went to the gym. I just did stuff that I'd been missing out on, and it was like super relaxing. It was really good.
I'm gonna go with cool. Like if I had 2 weeks off, I might spend the first 3 or 4 days probably just chilling at home, hanging out with my dog.
Not your girlfriend, just your dog.
Well, she's going to work. Yeah, someone's got to bring home the bacon.
Someone's got to feed the dog.
You know, like I'd hang at home for a couple of days and just like take it easy, and then ease into the holiday, and then just wait whistle.
I'm going to say it's cool only because going on actual holiday can sometimes mean by the end of it, you are more exhausted.
Oh, you
than
need a
the
holiday at
start.
the end of the holiday.
Yeah. And so like sometimes taking a week off to just do absolutely nothing is, like Sean said, what you need.
Oh man, 2 weekends ago, I got to Monday and I was like, I don't wish today was Saturday because it was that hectic.
Yeah, I would love to just stay home, play games, chill.
Yeah.
Brett, did you want to finish the episode with the bottle flip? Do you want to see if you can do it?
Oh, I don't have any.
Oh, it's going to go absolutely everywhere.
I've got no water in here.
That's probably too much water.
Yeah, that's way too much.
All right, next time then.
Yeah, just start the episode. Bang, bottle flip, episode over.
All right, beautiful. That's another episode in the bag. We will see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching and listening.
Yeah.